Hey there everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that's as fascinating as it is unsettling. History's most controversial figures. These are the individuals who, for better or worse, have left an indelible mark on the world. But, and this is a big but, not always for the right reasons, we're talking about leaders, conquerors and revolutionaries who are often remembered more for their ruthlessness, their cruelty and their sheer disregard for human life than for any positive contributions they might have made. Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into history's most controversial figures. These individuals have left a lasting impact, but not always for the right reasons. All right, let's not beat around the bush. History is filled with figures who have left indelible marks, but few have cast a shadow as dark and pervasive as Adolf Hitler. When we talk about figures of hate in history, one name inevitably tops the list: Adolf Hitler. His name is synonymous with evil, and his actions have left a scar on humanity that will never fully heal. The architect of the Holocaust and the driving force behind World War II, Hitler's legacy is one of unimaginable suffering and destruction. His vision for a so-called pure Aryan race led to the deaths of millions and the devastation of entire nations. His ideology, a toxic brew of nationalism, anti-Semitism and racial purity, led to the systematic murder of 6 million Jews and millions of others deemed undesirable by the Nazi regime. The sheer scale of the atrocities committed under his rule is almost incomprehensible. Hitler's rise to power was fueled by a perfect storm of economic depression, political instability, and a deep-seated resentment over Germany's defeat in World War I. The Treaty of Versailles had left Germany humiliated and economically crippled, creating fertile ground for extremist ideologies. He was a master manipulator, using propaganda and fear to consolidate his power and silence dissent. Through a combination of charismatic oratory and ruthless political maneuvering, he transformed a struggling nation into a war machine. The horrors of the Holocaust, from the death camps to the Einsatzgruppen killing squads, stand as a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked hatred and the fragility of peace. The systematic extermination of millions was carried out with chilling efficiency and brutality. Hitler's reign of terror finally ended in 1945 with Germany's defeat. But the scars of his crimes continue to shape our world today. The Nuremberg trials sought to bring justice to the perpetrators, but the trauma inflicted on survivors and the world at large endures. It's essential that we remember Hitler not just as a historical figure, but as a warning sign, a stark reminder of the human capacity for evil and the importance of vigilance in the face of intolerance and discrimination. The lessons of the past must guide us in building a future where such horrors are never repeated. From the ashes of World War I, another totalitarian regime rose to prominence, this time in the East. The world had barely begun to recover from the devastation of the Great War when the seeds of another oppressive regime were sown. Joseph Stalin, the man of steel, ruled the Soviet Union with an iron fist for over 3 decades, transforming it into a global superpower, but at a horrific human cost. His reign was characterized by ruthless policies and a relentless drive to consolidate power. Stalin's paranoia and lust for absolute power led to the Great Purge, a period of mass repression and terror that decimated the ranks of the Communist Party, the military, and even ordinary citizens. No one was safe from his reach, as friends, colleagues, and even family members were not spared. Millions were executed or sent to the Gulag, a vast network of forced labor camps scattered across the Soviet Union. These camps were notorious for their brutal conditions, where prisoners faced grueling labor, starvation, and often death. Stalin's collectivization of agriculture, intended to modernize Soviet farming, resulted in widespread famine and the deaths of millions more. The forced consolidation of individual farms into state-controlled entities disrupted food production and led to catastrophic shortages. His regime was marked by fear, censorship, and the suppression of any form of opposition. The state controlled all aspects of life, from the media to personal expression, ensuring that dissent was swiftly and brutally crushed. Stalin's legacy is a complex one. He is credited with industrializing the Soviet Union and playing a crucial role in defeating Nazi Germany. But his methods were brutal, and his disregard for human life was staggering. The rapid industrialization came at the cost of immense human suffering and loss. The shadow of Stalinism continues to loom large over Russia and the former Soviet republics, a reminder of the dangers of unchecked power and the enduring human cost of totalitarian rule. The scars left by his regime are still visible today, influencing the political and social landscapes of these nations. Chapter 3: Genghis Khan, the scourge and architect of empire. From the steppes of Central Asia, Genghis Khan emerged as a unifying force, forging a vast empire through conquest and bloodshed. His Mongol hordes swept across Asia and into Europe, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Cities were razed, populations decimated, and entire civilizations shattered. Genghis Khan's military genius was undeniable, but his methods were often brutal and unforgiving. His conquests led to a dramatic redrawing of the political map and facilitated the exchange of goods, ideas, and culture along the Silk Road. However, this period of unprecedented connectivity came at a staggering cost. Millions perished during the Mongol conquest, and the psychological impact of their brutality reverberated for generations. Genghis Khan's legacy is a study in contrast. He is revered by many Mongolians as a national hero, a unifier who brought glory and prosperity to their ancestors. Yet he is also remembered as a ruthless conqueror, a symbol of destruction and terror. His story compels us to grapple with the complexities of history, where even the most influential figures can be both revered and reviled. Chapter 4: Pol Pot, the nightmare of the killing fields. In the heart of Southeast Asia, a different kind of horror unfolded. Pol Pot, the leader of the Khmer Rouge, unleashed a reign of terror upon Cambodia, seeking to create an agrarian utopia through forced labor and mass executions. The Cambodian genocide, a chilling chapter in 20th century history, claimed the lives of an estimated 2 million people, driven by a radical ideology that sought to purge Cambodia of all foreign influences and create a classless society. The Khmer Rouge emptied the cities, forcing millions into labor camps. Intellectuals, professionals, and anyone deemed a threat to the regime were systematically eliminated. The killing fields, mass graves that dot the Cambodian countryside, stand as a haunting reminder of the atrocities committed during this dark period. Pol Pot's regime collapsed in 1979, but the scars of the genocide run deep. Cambodia continues to grapple with the legacy of this trauma, seeking justice for the victims and reconciliation for a nation torn apart by violence. Pol Pot's name serves as a chilling reminder of the dangers of ideological extremism and the devastating human cost of utopian visions gone awry. Chapter 5: Vlad the Impaler, the bloody reign of the Impaler. Vlad III, better known as Vlad the Impaler, ruled Wallachia, a region in present-day Romania, in the 15th century. His reign was marked by a relentless struggle to maintain power and protect his territory from external threats. His name, as you might have guessed, isn't exactly associated with warm and fuzzy feelings. Instead, it evokes images of terror and cruelty. He's infamous for his brutal methods of punishment, particularly his fondness for impalement, which he used with chilling efficiency against his enemies, both real and perceived. This gruesome method involved driving a stake through the body, often leaving the victim to die slowly in excruciating pain. Vlad's cruelty wasn't just about personal pleasure, though it's hard to ignore that element. His actions were also deeply rooted in the political and social turmoil of his time. He saw it as a tool, a way to instill fear and maintain order in a region riven by conflict and instability. Wallachia was a land caught between the ambitions of the Ottoman Empire and the Kingdom of Hungary, making it a hotbed of constant strife. And fear he did instill. His reputation for cruelty was so widespread that it became a psychological weapon in itself. Stories of his brutality spread far and wide, cementing his reputation as a ruthless tyrant. These tales were often exaggerated, but they served to enhance his fearsome image. But Vlad's story, like many on this list, is more nuanced than it first appears. His reign was not solely defined by his cruelty. He was also a skilled military leader who fought fiercely to defend his realm against the encroaching Ottoman Empire. His military campaigns were marked by strategic brilliance and a fierce determination to protect his people. To some, he's even seen as a folk hero, a symbol of resistance against foreign domination. In Romanian folklore, he's often depicted as a just ruler who stood up to the powerful Ottoman forces. Vlad the Impaler embodies the contradictions of history, a figure both reviled and, in some quarters, revered. His legacy is a complex tapestry of fear, admiration, and historical debate. His story reminds us that history is rarely black and white, and that even the most brutal figures can be products of their time and place. Vlad's reign, with all its bloodshed and terror, also reflects the harsh realities of medieval politics and warfare. Well, there you have it, folks. 5 of history's most hated figures. From dictators to conquerors, their stories are a stark reminder of the human capacity for both good and evil. But as we've seen, history is rarely simple. These figures, as reprehensible as their actions were also products of their time and place. Their stories challenge us to confront the complexities of the past and to grapple with the enduring legacy of their actions. Thanks for watching. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And be sure to let us know in the comments who you think should be on this list and why. We love hearing your thoughts and engaging in thoughtful discussions. Until next time, stay curious.